What's going on, guys? Liam here, and tonight, it's time for State of Origin preview / predictions. So in this video, guys, I'm going to go over Game 1, where teams were good, where teams were bad, how New South Wales can win, how Queensland can win, new players in, how they can impact, have the teams got better, worse, blah, 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 all that fun stuff. But before we do, I want to see your predictions, man. Who's going to win? By how much? 13 plus 1 to 12, and drop some try scorers in there too, man. I want to see them. Because I'm going to be punting on this game. Not New South Wales. State of Origin is a terrible game to punt on. It just is. You don't win much. It's not great. It's very unpredictable. But it's damn fun. And let's just get into it. I'm going to be rambling a bit here, so I'm going to try and keep this thing moving along so you don't just hear me blabbing on about dumb stuff for too long. Alright, so let's go. We've got Game 2 at Suncorp, Queensland. Look at those odds. I've never seen them that short. Even through that 10 years of dominance, I don't remember. I might be wrong, but I don't ever remember them being under $1.50. That is absolutely bananas, man. That is crazy. I need some coffee for this one, man. I need some coffee. Alright, can the Blues do it? Can they achieve the impossible task of going into Queensland, enemy territory, at Suncorp, down on troops, get the dub? Can they do a Queensland on Queensland? I don't know, man. So we'll just go over the ins and outs real quick. I'm pretty sure we all know. Arrow out, Cobbo out, Gilbert out, Dearden out, Corus out, Burton's been recalled back in, Cleary out, Hines out, Tavita Pangai Jr. out. First thoughts on these? When I first saw them on my TikTok, I said, Billy don't miss, this is perfect, and I still believe I would have done exactly what he did. I think it was great changes for him, forced changes. And when I first saw the New South Wales one, I was like, I get it. That's sort of what you had to do, but I wasn't super happy about it. But after going over some of the stats, for example, leaving Luai in, I was like, damn, all right, okay, see why he did it, sort of thing. Obviously, Mitchy Moses comes in and stuff as well. But before we dive into the team lists and, who can help where and, how I think the game will play out and all that sort of stuff, let's just have a look at Game 1 and just recap that really quickly. I said in my post-game sort of video that I really, even though the game was technically won here, I really do feel like it was over from the 10-minute point. And when Bateman... when Liam Martin came on, you saw the game shift, and I genuinely felt like New South Wales really did dominate. Well, not dominate, but I really felt like they were on top for the vast majority of the middle of the game. But obviously, Munster did his thing at the end. Well, Hammer and Munster did his thing at the end, and they got the dub quite comfortably. And I don't mean to toot my own horn, but I pretty much nailed what I thought was going to happen in Game 1. I was pretty damn bang on that one. I knew New South Wales could win this one, win that one, but I just said if those boys don't rumble through the middle, it's only a matter of time before Cam Munster, Harry Grant do their thing, and they did their thing. And it's not good enough just to match their forward pack. New South Wales have to dominate it. They really do. They really do, and I'll go over what they have to do and where they have to improve in a second. But we'll have a quick look-see. So New South Wales had more time in possession, equal completion rates, but New South Wales did have more sets. They did run for more metres, and I know you probably think, didn't their forward pack win? Well, no, because To'o and James Tedesco ran for 250 metres between them just about, so you take 250 off that. Also, Crichton ran for a ton. Torovic ran for a ton. Their forward pack, Queensland forward pack, definitely ran for more metres. It was just the outside backs that sort of inflamed this sort of thing. Junior Paulo and Payne Haas and Pavita got relatively restricted. So, the Queensland definitely won the forward pack battle, even though these numbers don't quite suggest that. If you take their outside backs metres and Queensland's outside back metres, the Queensland pack definitely got more metres and prevented more metres too, which I think is even more important. Both 3 line breaks each, 31 tackle busts to 36. So New South Wales win a lot of these stats. So average set distance, as you can see there, Queensland winning that one, and they won the ruck as well with the faster play the ball speed. Now, offloads. This is a big one for me, and I'll get back to it. This is one of the reasons how I think New South Wales can win, and I think they should do, but they haven't done it the past 2 or 3 years, even though they've got some of the best offloading players in their team. Now, let's keep going down. So we've got kick meters, blah, blah, blah. All right, 140-20, big moment. That was Cherry Evans, I believe. Tackle efficiency, great, 89%. So they're actually slightly better than Queensland as well. Missed tackles, 31-36, so great. But the errors. The errors really killed New South Wales. And I dare say, honestly, if this was, say, 8 or 7... And it was the thing with the errors too. Not only were there heaps, this is, to be honest, straight up, that's just not good enough for State of Origin. This is, if you're a club and you dropped 11 balls in a game, you're not happy. For the best players in the world to be doing double-digit errors in a game, that's not good enough, man. It's just not good enough. You're always going to have an error in a game, but I mean, these were both off a dumb penalty and an error sort of thing. And that's when Queensland got ahead. There's always going to be. I knew straight away, even when Queensland and New South Wales were up throughout this game, I just always knew that this head start was going to put them in a hole because they had to play so hard to get ahead, and then it was just Cam Munster sitting back doing his thing. And that to me was a huge, like a big no-no, big boo-boo. That's too many errors, man. This is you're meant to be the best in the world. You can't be dropping the ball 11 times. 11 times you can't drop the ball 11 times out of 46. It's terrible. All right, so let's go into the new inclusions for both teams and where they sort of improve and maybe disimprove, weaken the each team, because obviously most of these changes are forced, and there's a couple that weren't New South Wales side. So now Latrell Mitchell is named here, guys, but I don't. He's obviously ruled out. So Matt Burton's come in. Let me know, guys, who you think should come in, Crichton or Burton. I'm really on the fence with it. I'd love to see Burton in there, not because I don't think he's good a centre, but it'd be nice to see him put some bombs up. As we know, Reece Walsh doesn't have the best set of hands. I'm pretty sure he's dominating the league in errors, and Selwyn Cobbo's not there, but if he was, some Burton bombs would go down real nice. I actually do not think Reece Walsh could catch them. I mean, to be honest, the only person I've seen handle them super well has been King Gutho. King Gutho swallows them. He's like a bloody porn star in Brazzers. He's just swallowing bombs, swallowing loads. All right, so Xavier Coates comes in. Now, he doesn't quite have the X factor or anything like that Cobbo has. I mean, he does a little bit, but he's still a big body, good. And I've actually been really impressed with his kick returns, really strong carries. But probably, I'd almost say he's probably better in the air than Cobbo. Again, this isn't saying Cobbo's not good at it. I'm just saying Xavier's very, very good at it. I think I don't actually see them lose much, but I actually see them gain quite a bit, because at least you know you're not going to get 4 or 5 errors out of Xavier, which you know you could 100% get out of Cobbo. And again, he was brilliant in game 1. I don't believe he had an error. He might have maybe one. I think they had one between them, these two, and that was one of the things I said. I said if these guys combine for 4 or more errors, I think I said they'll lose the game, and they had one error. They won the game. So so who else comes in? So Lindsay Coles is named to start, and Tina. Now, there was a late change last time. I don't think they're going to do it this time. I think that was quite smart from Billy, taking all that media hype of these guys are going to just lock horns and go nuts. This to me, I mean, none of them are hotheads. You know what I mean? I mean, everyone talks up like Lindsay Collins like he is. I don't think he is. He's just a big guy who plays hard. I don't think he's got that, that Jared Rhea-Hargraves in him. He's really not. He's just a big, tough bloke that runs hard and tackles hard. And so is Tino, and he's 2 guys that run hard that don't... Oh, no, Paulo can put a shot on, I guess. I was about to say that don't tackle overly hard. But, yeah, so Who else? What else are the other changes? Where are we? So we've got Lindsay Collins coming in to start, Ben Hunt to start. So I really do think this is how it's going to start, guys. Then we've got Nanai in as well. Now, Nanai, pros and cons, footwork, electric, aerial specialist. Defense, it's not because he's not a good tackler or anything like that. I think it's just more, it's a very hard position to defend, and he's young and new. You know what I mean? You're not going to, even Kafusi, who's known as a defensive specialist second rower, wasn't that when he was 2 years into his career sort of thing. So Nanai, I'm sure, will be just fine there. Harry Grant comes on, and Big Moe comes in for Jai Arrow, who I'm a huge fan of. I've been raving on about him all year. I've been so impressed with him, and I'm really glad he got his spot, and I think he'll do a real good job. Now, just overall weaknesses, just from Queensland that I can sort of see, and there's really barely any. I'm clutching at straws here trying to find something, to be fair. Just to be fair. I honestly do believe Hammer and Tuolangi played as good as they possibly could, sort of thing. So, you know what I mean? There's no guarantee they're going to duplicate that. You know what I mean? And same as Reece. I mean, he actually could play better, but you never know. Bombs put down. Like I said, he's led the league in errors last couple of years. He's got them in him. Trust me, trust me, he really does. But again, he could literally play better and still not get errors. Like his stats in game one, like they're good, but they're not like as good as they could be. Like he could be better. That's a real scary. Oh, he had 2 line break assists. Sorry, I thought he had 1 try assist. So he had 2 line break assists and 1 try assist. Brilliant. Like that was so good. Sort of thing. That's actually a little better than I thought he was. And no errors, which is, or if he did have one. But anyway, brilliant. Real good job from Reece. And man, I tell you what, I was watching Ponga today too. You're killing it. But he's not just getting his spot back, man. You can't just get that back. So just a couple of things. Obviously, possible errors. Did they max out last game? I think Hammer's probably even got another gear, but Tuolangi was played out of his skin. So you know what I mean. The other thing I see obviously is Nanai's possible defensive lapses and stuff like that, but again, I think he'll be just fine. But the one thing is the bench. It is essentially 4 middle forwards. I know Harry Grant's a hooker, but I know Ruben Cotter did go to an edge last time, and they said he did a brilliant job. He was fine, and he did such a good job, but he's not an edge. He's a genuine middle, whether it's lock, hooker, or I'm pretty sure he grew up playing hooker. Or 13 or whatever, but he's not that typical edge. He's a shorter, stockier built guy that with real good leg speed, leg drive sort of thing, and that's where his money is. Second rowers these days, they're big, tall, you know what I mean, big, tall, athletic, your Hudson Youngs, your Liam Martins, your Ola Kawatus, all those guys, they're big, tall, they're aerial threats as well. So if, let's just say an edge does go down, like David or Nanai, there is no real cover there at all. We saw they sort of got stuck there last time a little bit and put Cotter in, and where did Ben Hunt end up on the edge there at the end? I think he was out and maybe defending in the centres or something like that. But yeah, if they do have a second, maybe you could put Cotter in on an edge, and then one of these guys goes to the middle, locks the scrum. But then you lose Carrigan, which is probably the second best. Well, actually, he is the second best lock in the game right now. And before the start of this year, I would have said Yo was way ahead of him. He's damn close now. I'm telling you, his kid's legit. He's real good. So yeah, that is a little concern. So you got 2 big burly front rowers, you got a hooker, and then you got a little punchy forward sort of thing. So every team's going to have flaws no matter how good it is. So, but that's not an issue if these guys don't go down or don't get hurt, or if they don't gas out and need a break, they'll be fine. Because even Tino, he doesn't really, he could play out there, but I think he'd definitely be down sort of thing if he did. But again, just quickly, how Queensland are going to win this, copy and paste what they did last time. Line speed, defence. Line speed and defence, and then if you just hang in the game there, this dude will eventually do something and unlock these guys. Or just these guys, line speed, defence, punching through the middle, and then this dude comes on and does his thing. It's exactly what I said last time. So pretty much, you three don't drop the ball. Well, sorry, three don't drop the ball, and then just stay in the game, and these guys are going to come on, add some extra punch and all that stuff, and do what you did last time, sort of thing. And I'm leaning towards. I'll tell you what I'm predicting, but I'm leaning towards that happening again. Now let's get on the New South Wales team. Now, just before I do, a lot of things about Teddy. I'll get into that in a minute. So Teddy keeps his spot. Obviously, Latrell is out, but Luai keeps his spot. Mitch Moses comes in. Junior Paulo comes in. Junior Paulo comes in the starting team. Damien Cook comes in at hooker. Payne Haas prop, and then back row is the same essentially. Big Stefano comes in. He's been brilliant for the Tigers. Cam Murray, Liam Martin, and Reece Robson. Now I am talking about I don't think this team will change before running. I'm hearing this score is going to start. Bit of Reece Robson, which I don't mind at all. He's a bit of a bigger body than Damien Cook, pretty physical, all that sort of stuff. But talk about throwing him in the deep end. Game 2, win or go home, and you at the cauldron. First Origin, god damn. So we'll have to wait and see if that happens. It makes sense to me. I've always thought Damien Cook could play 80, and people I keep seeing people comment this in my TikTok. Oh, you can't play 80. They like listen to bloke in a bar, and they're like, oh, you can't go 80. Hooker can't go 80 anymore. Yeah, they can. They can, bro. Do you know how many HIAs there are? Do you know how many stoppages there are now? Captain's challenges. They blow penalties for anything. Hip drops. Like this, you brush someone up high. You little grab. Two players grab each other. They stop the game. Yeah, it's faster. Yeah, the athletes are bigger. Yeah, all that sort of stuff. But the game is slower. Like not the speed of the game, but the game is slower. It's just like captain's challenges all the time. Someone gets a bump and they're doing a head knock. Someone goes down with, like a minor hip drop. Someone gets a little bit of pressure on the neck and they stay down to get a penalty. There's so many stoppages these days, and I'm telling you, it never used to be that way. I remember State of Origin, say, like 10 years ago, not super far back, but not super recent either. About 10 years ago, you'd be watching, and then you'd look up and there's 5 minutes to go in the half, and you're like, what the hell happened? Like, it just went like lightning quick. It was just like there was no stoppages at all. They weren't blowing penalties. You just played, and then the ref put the whistle in his pocket, and they just played and played and played and played. And then you'd look up and go, damn, there's 5 minutes to there's 35 minutes of this game gone already, and I feel like I'm 2 sips into my beer, sort of thing. It was nuts. So I genuinely think Cook could go the full 80, but I do like him coming on. I probably would like to start Reece, and just he doesn't have to do anything. Just come on, pass the ball. Let's pass the ball and tackle hard, bro. Good quick line speed. But yeah, I almost like him coming on, do 20, and then literally Cook just playing the rest of the 60 sort of thing. But we'll have to wait and see how that goes. Now, let's just have a quick look. So Teddy keeps his spot. Look, he was good, man. Like, everyone was going, why did he get in his spot again? Like, and I was like, man, he had a stinker. Like, let's be real. Like, but it wasn't through lack of trying. Like, he has games like this where he's just slipping over all the time, and he slipped over. Let Lindsay Collins score a try on him, like snatch the ball off him. He got stood up, but he just completely slipped over on Hammer. But he ran for 217 metres, 48 post contact. It's still like a solid effort. Like, there's still a lot of that's still good. And everyone's been saying this about the Roosters too, and I genuinely do think he's down on form. Don't think I'm sitting here saying, oh man, he's the best. What are you guys talking about? I just genuinely think that, and I'll get into it in a minute. How they bring Teddy into this game and actually get him to play the way he wants to play. Now, Luai as well. Luai was good. I did actually. Everyone as well was saying, how did Luai keep his spot? Well, he had better stats than Cam Munster, who everyone was saying was the best and should have won the medal at the end of the game and stuff like that. Two line break assists, 2 try assists, 2 tackle breaks to Cam Munster's. But Cam Munster just does this stuff at the right time. That's the thing, man. That's why I love him. his stats don't always read well, but it's just, yeah, so 1 line break assist, 1 try assist. But he so honestly, Luai outplayed this dude for 70 minutes. He really did. He was so much better. But Munster does it when it counts. That's the thing. Now, Mitchy Moses, I actually found this pretty hilarious. Now, I actually didn't want Mitch Moses to get picked. I was jumping on the Haynes bandwagon, and I didn't want, because I know how Queensland are going to lose, New South Wales are going to lose this game. I didn't want Mitch Moses to get picked. They get pumped through the middle, and then they go, Moses can't stand up in big games. Moses can't stand up in big games, sort of thing. So I genuinely didn't want to get Mitch Moses to get picked. However, I genuinely think he's the right guy for the job. I think his stats have been better than Cleary's this year. He's been playing out of his skin. I mean, he's slotted field goals in overtime to beat the Panthers. He's done all sorts of stuff this year, and I actually found it pretty funny. Cherry Evans was having a bit of a crack at him, saying, "Oh, well, you don't know what it's like. It's completely, he might be playing good at club, but it's." Do you know how much better Mitchell Moses has been than Cherry Evans over the past 3 or 4 years? Like, it hasn't been close, brother. And I like Cherry Evans, but it's just like, bro, Cherry, sit down. You're not the reason Queensland have been so good over the past few years. Far from it. And he's like, Orange's a different beast. He doesn't know what it's like. Yeah, bro, you played last year and his stats were better than yours, bro. Like, I really didn't get those comments like it was going to get into Mitchell Moses' head. I'm like, any remotely rational person understands that Mitchell Moses is definitely a better halfback than Cherry Evans, and he's definitely, the one time they played against each other at Origin, Moses was better than him with a broken back. He had a broken back in that game and still outplayed Cherry Evans. So I don't know if Cherry Evans been hitting the old glass pipe lately, but yeah, it's I don't know what those comments are about. They're acting like, oh, he's trying to get under his skin. I'm like, yeah, bro. Mitchell Moses knows he outplayed you in that game, bro. Like, everyone does, sort of thing. But Queensland got the dub. Congratulations to him. It was great. But it was a penalty goal from Valentine Holmes that won that game, not Cherry Evans with his 1 line break assist in 80 minutes of football. But yeah, look. Now let's get on to the forwards. Now, this is where the New South Wales lose the game for me. Okay, so I love this backline. Whether Burton or Mitchell or Critters in here, I genuinely like this backline. Almost better than this one, but you know what I mean? Maybe individual players better, whatever. But just like, I love the backline. But what's the oldest saying in the rugby league book? Forwards win games, halves decide by how much. A halfback can't win a game behind a beaten forward pack. It's just the way it is. It really is. And I've been highly critical of his selections in there, and it's just like, I love Junior Paulo. He's legit one of my favourite players. Payne Haas, look, I've been critical of him here and there in big games, but he's genuinely been a top 3 prop for the past 3 or 4 years, and at club level, he's absurd. Like, he's literally absurd. His meters are insane, but what State of Origin, I really do feel like the role for a prop changes. I feel at club, it's almost more about meters, link play, offloads, blah, 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 all that sort of stuff. Whereas at Origin, it's about line speed and defense. And his defensive numbers are great, like as far as missed tackles go. But I wish I could show it to you guys. But there was a time Cleary kicked down, and like, it was a great kick, pinned them down in their 10-metre line. Lindsay Collins comes in for a run. That's that time when, they're pinned on their 10, you're 10 metres out, they're pinned on their try line, and you just come in and whack them. Lindsay Collins ran for 12 metres, just strolled out of trouble, just sort of got. I was like, that's pathetic, man. That is pathetic. And I genuinely think a metre stop's better than a metre gain. And I've said that's why Jake Trbojevic is so good, and he's a Gumby, but he stops metres. Dudes running, bang, they're on the ground. You know what I mean? And whereas Payne and Junior, they're more grab you, hold you, and just roll you to the ground sort of thing. Line speed, they're such big men, their line speed's not great, sort of thing. So, and I'm just talking about these guys' positives outweigh their negatives. So I'm not saying they shouldn't have been picked, because they're both so good. I love them both. But if New South Wales is going to win this guy has to be the best forward, not prop, best forward on the park, and this guy has to be a pretty close second. if they're going to win it. And that's genuinely how New South Wales are going to win this game, because if they genuinely get on the front foot and pump through the middle, then I'll be just straight up with you. If these guys dominate through the middle and run for their club meters, put the brakes on them in defence, coming out the line, putting shots on, stopping them in their tracks, all that sort of stuff. If the halves here were Chad Townsend and I'm trying to think of it, just another average 6, you know what I mean? Like Matt Moylan. If they were the halves, they'll win. I'm not talking shit. Like, they would literally win. Like, I'm not making this up. They would win. I'm telling you. If these guys blast through the middle, blast these guys, stop them in their tracks on defence, Moylan and Chad Townsend could be the halves, and they will win, man. I'm not joking. I'm telling you, they would. But these guys aren't going to be able to do a damn thing. You saw Luai really came into his own when Liam Martin came on and started blasting. And again, he dead set. He had better stats than Cam Munster. Like, you know what I mean? So like, these dudes can do it. It's just it's on these guys to get the platform. So I've said it before. So Payne Haas, man, like look at his stats here. For like, his stats are spastic. Like, 97% tackle efficiency over a season. It's ridiculous. Average 16 hit ups. 64 tackle breaks. This is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. Average running meters 192. Now at Origin, I don't have his absolute average, but his best meters at Origin was his last game, which he got 133 meters. But I've got an asterisk over that one. Number one, when the game ended, it was at 124, and I'm telling you now. The last 2 runs he took when the game was pretty much over, he took 2 nice runs right at the end of the game, were both for about 12 metres each, maybe 10. So that's another 20. So let's just say you take 20 off that, because they were just pointless. They didn't really count. They weren't like in the grind metres, if you know what I'm saying. So if you take 20 metres off that, like, you know what I'm saying, 103 metres, like, it's not good enough. Can't have Paddy Carrigan, Lindsay Collins, all these guys just destroying you for metres. And people kept saying, oh, he didn't play for enough minutes, bro. He played 51 minutes. That's heaps for a State of Origin. That's for a middle in State of Origin. You don't want them playing anymore, because it's intense. You need gas in the tank. You can't be completely gassed. And he was averaging 7 metres a run. You think Payne Haas running for 7 metres, not offloading, not linking, is going to win you the game? Like, you're crazy. Absolutely crazy. But he can do it, man. I know he can. I have faith in him, but not a ton of faith, because I haven't seen it yet. But I've got a bit of faith. I'm with you, Paney. I'm on your side. I'm not trying to bag you. The reason why I'm so hard on you, brother, is because I know how good you can be. I need you to play with that intensity, son. I need you to play with that intensity. But yeah, so those guys' numbers have to be up. Like that. This is just it just really does. Like, these guys, like I said, best 2 players on the park, best 2 forwards on the park. Like this dude wins Dally M points every time. I'm just thinking, and I'm going to go out on a limb here. So he won Dally M Prop of the Year last year. He pretty much got all the Dally M points every time the Broncos have played. Yet he hasn't had a man of the match in a State of Origin. You get what I'm saying? Like, every week in, week out, they're like, he was the best on the park. Oh, the game changed when Payne Haas was on. See it at Origin, man. I'm sick of saying it. Let's do it. Come on, man. Right, so now, just on these 2, just before I get off them. Now, one stat actually on here, which I thought's been a brilliant tool added to Payne Haas's repertoire, is his damn offloads. He's offloading like a machine this year. And Junior Paulo's one of the best offloaders in the game as well, especially for a big fella. I genuinely think these guys have to offload. Teddy plays best off offloads. Like, he really does. So does, and then Chom Travojevic in broken play as well. Like, that's how they score tries for me. That's how they get points. Win the contact. You always hear Brad Arthur from Parramatta saying it, and that's why Junior Paulo is such a good offloader. That's why Hopgood is such a good offloader. That's why Sean Lane is such a good offloader. That's why Madison is such a good offloader. Parramatta have so many good offloaders, because he tells you can't offload until you win the contact. Win the contact, bang, look to offload, sort of thing. And that's what these guys need to be doing. Bang, skittle them, and then swing, offload, Teddy, Trbojevic lurking around. That's honestly how I think they win the game. I think if they just bang, hit, spin, offload, win the collision, offload, win the collision, offload, not all the time. Like, you have to win the collision, and you can try and win the collision and not win the collision. But you know what I mean? I don't know if it was just great defense from Queensland or if it was. I felt like Payne was almost trying to find his front, like just bang, hit the line, hit the ground, because I hadn't seen him hit the ground face first that quick ever as far as that last game, including other State of Origin games. Like I said, they might have just been chopping him so hard he was hitting the deck hard, but he was getting chopped too, because we see games at the Broncos where he literally doesn't get tackled to the ground in a game. You know what I mean? And he was just getting bang, chopped to the ground so quickly. So, again, I couldn't tell whether it was that. It looked like a good defense to me, but maybe Payne was literally just trying to find his front. I think he should be trying to not hit the line, try and go through the line, and then if you skittle dudes, spin. Where's Teddy? Sort of thing. So that to me is just like, I don't know why that hasn't been done. Junior Paulo never seems to offload much in Origin. But like, for example, last year, I thought he was just passing way too much. He'd run to the line and go out the back. I'm like, oh, come on, Mary, you're the biggest dude on the field by a mile. Like the pack last year was much better than Queensland's pack. Yeah, he just wasn't finding that contact sort of thing. So that's what I think these guys have to do. Damien Cook as well. You think about it, these guys hit and spin. You got Damien Cook, you got Turbo. I mean, he'd be a little bit wider, and then Teddy. But like Teddy, off and offload, skittle, find Tom in open space, is scoring tries every damn day of the week. Now, Isaiah Yeo, look, he was actually pretty damn solid, and people go, oh, he hasn't performed much at Origin. If you're saying that, you don't sort of understand how modern rugby league works. You have to have a middle link. You see how terrible the Roosters are at the moment without a middle link in Victor Radley. It's just the way the game's played now. That's why these two guys and Cameron Murray are the four best locks in the game, because they are middle links that run the ball hard and link when they have to, sort of thing. So that's he has to be there because he's the best at it. And you probably got the third best one sitting right there as well. I do agree that maybe you could pull him off if you wanted to. Like he seems to plays a lot of minutes. What did he play last time? He played the full 80. I don't think you have to play him the full 80. Like, I think you could genuinely pull him off and chuck Cam Murray on just to mix it up a little bit. Murray's got a little bit better leg speed, leg drive. He's probably got better line speed as well. I do genuinely think Isaiah Yeo's got better. He just always goes he's awesome. He's awesome. As far as giving these guys another shot, I don't mind it, but geez. Step up, lads. Step up, lads. Hudson, if you ever want one of these again, you're going to want it. That was a pretty poor... I mean, look, at the end of the day, it wasn't like horrendous what he did. It was those timely ones. It was just bad timing, sort of thing. And yeah, it's Big Stefano. Look, he's been winning every forward battle he's been in this year. He genuinely has. If you look at the Tigers' forward numbers, he's been genuinely dominant. Genuinely dominant. He's been really, really good. So I don't mind him being in the team at all. But he's got to bring that line speed, man. Line speed. It's not about meters. It's about line speed. But yeah, he's been brilliant. I know we don't have his stats there because that's his New South Wales stats. But yeah, he's been damn good. And love the bench. Cam Murray's a beast. So a bit more of so they've got a hooker each, an edge second rower that can play in the middle, a middle forward that can play on an edge, a genuine prop. Whereas it's more, so a bit of diversity there, but yeah, we'll have to wait and see. So now that's pretty much it. So we'll just quickly wrap up what I said. So Queensland, business as usual. I think they do what they do. The negatives are brought up on them. I don't think they're that big of negatives, and I don't think they're going to be an issue. There's just so many asterisks, like this guy has to do this well, this guy has to do that well, this guy has to do this guy has to do that, sort of thing. And yeah, so it's very much up in the air now. Another main reason I believe New South Wales really did getting the last game was Freddie just picking Hines. Like, if you're going to pick him, put him in the starting lineup, or New South Wales to win this have to have a game plan with Robson, with Murray. You can't just like see how the game goes, man. We'll see what happens, man. Like Freddie's just too, like, you can tell Billy's like, he's just Melbourne structure. He's like a lieutenant. Like he knows exactly what he's going to do. Whereas I feel like Freddie's like a hippie going, we'll see what happens, man. We'll see what, it's just like, nah, bro. Like, Hines is in the team or he's not. And I will give him credit for dropping him this game. I reckon Hines should have played, like I said. But if he's not starting, why? And just see what happens, and maybe there'll be an injury. You can't do that, man. That's not how it works. It's not how it works. So New South Wales have to go and do this game plan. These guys have to win the collision, have to look at for some second phase play. And then these guys will thrive off the back of it. So it's not a tall task. They can 100% do it. And I do believe these odds are a little, like, I actually sort of think they should be close to this. But, like, just to put it this way, I will 100% be, just from a sheer punting thing, be putting some money on the Blues, because that is just juicy for such a good rugby league team. Whereas even though I believe Queensland probably will win, that is just terrible value for such what could be such a close game. And that a game in New South Wales, I'm not lying, could win this 13 plus. Like, that's how good this team is. But yeah, so that's sort of where I sit on it. That is very good value for the Blues. Having said that, my actual prediction, I trust Reece Walsh's hands. I trust Nanai's defence, and I trust that they're not going to get an injury in the back row, which is their weaknesses in this New South Wales team, more than I trust Junior Paulo and Payne Haas to win the collision and offload and have tremendous line speed. And that's why I think Queensland will win this game. I just trust the Queensland things will happen. Won't happen, and the New South Wales won't, sort of thing. That's just what I believe. I mean, Junior Paulo has proven he can win the collision and do offloads at club. Payne Haas, yes, to an extent at club, but can they do it in Origin? I just don't know. Now, yeah, and it just really depends on, like, Liam Martin to me should be getting as many minutes as he can, and I just thought, I was like, what? He's not starting? Like, if you don't want to drop Hudson, cool, like, put him on the bench or whatever, but Liam Martin was legit. I'd almost go as far to say as, like, it's hard to give the man of the match to a losing play, but he was damn close. Like, Cotter was elite. Honestly, they were probably the two best players on the park. Like, he was brilliant. Like, Munster was brilliant, but he was brilliant for 15 minutes, sort of thing. These guys, for the whole time they were on the park, was so damn good. And I almost probably lean it towards Liam Martin a little bit, but he changed the game more than Harry Grant changed the game, and that's crazy. That's crazy. So that's where I'm going, guys. I'm going with. I'm gonna be punting on New South Wales to win because I just like the value. But if someone had a gun to my head and was like, pick the winner, or I'm gonna blow your head off, it's Queensland's gonna win this game. It's at home. It's just it's just such a tall task. But yeah, I'll just hope. And I actually just with total transparency, I want New South Wales to win this desperately, just because I want there to be a game 3. I hate dead rubber State of Origins. I honestly couldn't even be bothered watching them. I'm just like, I watch it because I've got nothing else to do on a Wednesday night. But I couldn't care less about a dead rubber State of Origin. And I think it's really unfair on the clubs as well. So yeah, what's the point, sort of thing. So I just want this to go to a game 3. Sort of thing, and then that'll be cool, man. We'll flip the script. So, like, New South Wales have this crazy big win, and now Queensland has to go to New South Wales and do a Queensland thing. So much better of a storyline, right? Like, even Queenslanders, if I was you, I'd be like, come on, New South Wales, win this one so we can do a Queensland thing again. Come on, let's go, New South Wales. Get the dub. Make this. Don't be fucking arse, man. Do something good, please. And yeah, that's it, guys. Keep an eye on my TikTok and stuff like that. I'll do my try scorers and my shorts on here as well, guys. But yeah, it's not looking good. It's not looking good for New South Wales. Like I said, I genuinely think they can win, but I just don't know if these guys are going to go out there and destroy these guys. Let's have a look. Let's count the dogs. Let's count the dogs. Lindsay Collins, dog. Tino, dog. David, I wouldn't call him a dog. Cameron Nanite, I wouldn't call him a dog either. Paddy Carrigan, he's a dog. Flegler, he's a dog. Ruben Cotter, he's a dog. Moe, I can't really remember at State of Origin. I'm not going to call him a dog because it's such an honour, but damn close. Now let's go through New South Wales fullback. Junior Paulo, legend, not a dog. Payne Haas, beast, not a dog. Tyson Frizzell, solid, absolute legend, not a dog. Hudson Young, look, he's a dog for Canberra, but I don't know. I didn't see much of it. I saw a little bit more yapping than bite at State of Origin. I'm not going to lie, I love Hutto, but I didn't see much dog there. Isaiah Yeo, beast, best lock in the game, not a dog. Stefano, weapon, not a dog. Cam Murray, prettiest boy ever, not a dog. Liam Martin, dog. Reece Robson, not a dog. So you got New South Wales to Mayor carrying one dog on the pack, and he's sitting on the bench, and then you just got dog, 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 dog. What is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dogs versus 1. Good luck, New South Wales. Good luck. And that's it, guys. Now, I will go live before State of Origin on my TikTok and all that sort of stuff as well, and I absolutely cannot wait, guys, so keep your eye out for that one. I'm all finished. Let's bring it on. Not many sleeps to go now. Thank you all so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.